I'm Janelle Riley. Welcome to Virtually Together. We have a very special episode today. One of my favorite actors, writers, style icons, and just people in general, Kirsten Vangsness. She just wrapped up a 15-season run on Criminal Minds. I, of course, know her from LA theater. I've seen her in so many shows. She did Fat Pig at the Geffen with a then unknown Chris Pine, and she's very active at my theater company's sister theater company, Theater of Note. Anyway, she is doing so many amazing things that I'm not even going to try to describe them. Let's just go, and I'll let her tell you all about it. Kirsten Vangsness. I always butcher your name.
Those names. You don't even have to. I don't want you to re-edit that. I want everyone to feel safe and comfortable that your mouth sometimes does that when you say that.
It does. It wouldn't wrap around Vans. See, I can't get the extra S in
like
there.
Vangs, yeah, like Vangsness.
Vangsness.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for joining us and for going easy on me, because I'm always terrible when people mispronounce my name. Actor, writer, distiller of spirits.
And now hand sanitizer.
Yeah, tell me about this. First of all, you work with the Blinking Owl Distillery, and you have the great
co-owner with Robin and Brian Christensen. And so we started it. I've known Robin when I was a starving artist. She was a physical therapist. So this is weirdly how this all sort of like ties in this crazy way. She was working in the medical field. She was a pelvic floor physical therapist, very specialized thing. And this is something that women and sometimes men need to go to. Women need to go to because they've either had some sort of physical ailment, or they have some sort of abuse, or something that has made their vagina be very confused. And so I hadn't gone to the gynecologist ever, and I had a host of problems having sex, and a lot of pain and stuff like that. It was a very specialized, this is years ago, this is pre-fancy day job. And we hit it off. Very strange to say that you walk into an office with someone. This girl walks in, I'm in a sports medicine place, and there's all these like big, like football guys, and this girl comes out with like an earring right here, and she's like, "Hey, hi." And the way she treated me was so kind, and I was freaked out when I was there because I had no health insurance or anything, and I was like, I have no business being here. And she's like, "So you have to come back 3 times a week for a little bit." And I was like, "No, I can't be here right now." And we were talking back and forth when she was treating me, and she said, she said, "What do you do?" And I have 3 day jobs and whatever, but I'm an actor. I mean, I wrote this play. I'm doing a show by myself in Santa Ana. I'm charging $10 a night so I can get paid to act. I felt really awkward. And she was like, "Give me and my husband tickets to your show and just come back next week. Just come back."
That's amazing.
Right. So I give her tickets. She comes, she shows up, she points across the street because it's in Santa Ana where I'm doing the show, in Santa Ana, Orange County, because Cal State Fullerton had this space in Santa Ana, and I was an alumni, and they let me use it for free. She points. She's like, "We live right there." And me and her become fast friends. Fast forward to Fancy Day Job happens. She turns around and says, "Brian and I want to open a distillery, but we need a lot of money." So I was like, "I'll be the first investor." Done. So I do that. And then, like, when we were at the 11th hour, the biggest hospital in Orange County, Hoag Hospital, bought Robin's practice, because by then Robin started this huge practice called Womanology that was all about pelvic floor health and all this. So they bought her practice. We used that money and my money to open Blinking Owl, with the whole idea being something that was good for the farmer, good for the earth, a delicious, amazing thing, and a place for people to hang out. And we've had all these sort of ups and downs. We got shut down by the Alcohol Bureau for these weird nebulous prohibition rules that don't make sense. All this stuff happened. And probably about 4 days before the shutdown, it was before everybody else was talking about it, Robin was like, "I really want to make sanitizer, but we can't, because legally alcohol, the rules about alcohol are very strict, especially that kind, as opposed to like wine or beer." Because we were just like, can we just make it and just like leave it outside? Because we have this huge still that we've never used to capacity because we haven't needed to. And it was like, but she's like, we could make so much. So we're literally having this conversation, her and I. And Orange County, Brian texts Rob and he's like, Orange County just called and they want us to make. So then it was like, boom, boom, boom. And we didn't have the money. So that to me is what money is for. I have never had I have never felt so calm about calling. I often call my business manager and feel like I have to ask someone, I have to remind myself it's my money. I called him, I was like, I need $60,000, good talk. And he was like, whoa. I was like, I got a Subaru, not a Tesla. You need to put the money in my bank now. Right? Goodbye. And then we just took that $60,000. We bought the chemicals, we bought the bottles, and people came out from the woodwork. And it's been such a joy because I did that, and Robin and I and Brian are of the same ilk. We're making sure that nonprofits, that restaurants get it for free. We gave it to seniors, a couple senior centers for free, Chalk Hospital, places. I know, I can't tell you the name of the hospital, but there's a hospital that like is part of a big chain, but they're not the fancy one. And they ran out of sanitizer. So like I had to get gallons of it. They had to show up at my house so I could like give them stuff that'll last them for like 2-3 days. I have another friend who works for the state and like the group homes and like the state run senior places. They don't have stuff. So it's been crazy because all of a sudden we can use this big still to capacity. And we've had so many people participate. Golden Road Brewery gave us some of their old beer so we could make sanitizer from it. It's been really neat. Didn't mean to talk your ear off about it so much.
Oh, I'm fascinated by this. And
here it is.
There it is.
It's called Dirty Bird hand sanitizer. It is World Health Organization approved. And today, talk about creativity, I wrote a theme song for it.
No way. Can you present it to us? Or?
There once was a bird. I wrote it down. I'll sing you the tale of Ambrose the owl. He was too cool for school, so he'd not hoot, he'd growl. He wore a small leather jacket and a permanent scowl. And his talons, they were dirty. I don't mean sexy. I mean foul. There was this other owl and his name was Blinky, and he noticed that Ambrose's talons were stinky. So so that Blinky conjured alcohol not too drinky, and instead clean your hands so that they're clean as a winky. Blinky is a science nerd. He said, Ambrose, put this on your bird paws and your germs will be deterred. Did you know this is compliant with WHO standards? That's what I have heard. Let's all agree not to be dirty birds. Dirty bird hand sanitizer.
I don't have a lighter, so I'll do this. Woo! That's amazing. And you worked in WHO
compliant, yes.
Yeah, that's incredible.
That's what I've been doing every day of this thing so far. Is that like I think the day before we got the shutdown thing, the Gavin Newsom said, can't go out. Yeah. No, when Garcetti said can't go out. I read this Neil Gaiman book I have called Instructions, because we're quite good friends. And I thought, well, if I tell him, hey, I did this. And I also know, like how you guys did, how Sacred Fools did Neverwhere. He doesn't have he's not one of those people who's like, you can't take my things and do stuff with them. He's not that person. So I read a story. And I got up in the morning, there was a lot of people that had almost 100,000 people that had listened to that story. And I was like, so I made up a show that I now do every morning called Pie Chart, where I write a song and I talk about creativity. I don't know what I'm doing. I cry. I try to stay as present as possible. And then at night I have all these books about this little witch named Dory. I got them. They're discarded from all the libraries. They're out of print. I want to buy the rights to them, and I don't know how, because Patricia Coombs, who wrote them, I can't find her. I don't know. I can't. It's crazy. But I was like, I need to keep these for myself and not share them with anyone lest they take my idea. And I was like, that's stupid. And I've been reading those every night, which I would stop, but I get up in the morning and it's like, hi, I'm a nurse in Germany and I listen to these and they help, like, okay, and I feel like all of us are doing our own like weird things that either make us feel a little more together or
normal.
Yeah, or some way to connect to other people or to just be like, also, I think when you have more power and privilege, I was talking about this the other day, that Dalai Lama said the Western woman will save the world. And I think what that means is the women that have the power and privilege. And if you have power and privilege and energy and access, my quarantine is way nice. Like, I've realized that it's a good thing that I did not choose to have my own children. And I love all my friends' children, but like me and 3 cats, we're doing okay. And I truly found out I was an introvert because I know that people go, no, you're not. I'm like, no, I am. And no, you're not. No, I am. I've been saying I was
an introvert.
Huh?
You can be outgoing and be an introvert.
Yeah, like you can be an ambivert, but where I get energy is from being alone. So it's a little strange to say like, I've been very alone and I have a lot of energy. But I've also been, I've been in the public eye for a while. And I feel like, well, for me, I could be alone for a bit and not feel like, oh, there's something wrong with, not having eyes on me or something, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, you guys, Criminal Minds wrapped a 15 season run just in February.
Yeah. We shot it last year. We finished shooting it in May. And I wrote the series finale. So I was done in June, like mixing it and stuff.
Wow.
And then it was really strange because just before this all happened in February, I was in New York doing press for it. And it was weird to be like, oh, we all knew it was done. And you know what I mean? Like it felt so far away. And I thought, oh, it's not going to feel like anything. And it actually felt very final on that night that it happened. I was in New York and everyone's texting going, can we all, because we would oftentimes all get together at my house. So everyone's like, Kirsten, can we go to your house? Let's just get, and I was like, I'm not home. And I went the night of the finale to go see Inheritance in New York, which was the greatest play I've ever seen. It was did you see it?
I did. I saw it in London. It was so good.
It was out of this world. And I needed to see that. And I needed to see art that night. And then at the very end of the night, like one of the stagehands was like, hey, and I was like, He's like, I just watched did you write that? And I thought usually when people I just watched, it means like they watched a rerun. So I was like, what a neat gift to like, just have some person, like say that or whatever. But yeah. And so that just ended, but it didn't just end.
Were you watching it during the Inheritance?
It was like a stagehand guy who like worked backstage who, was like, and that he pointed to like up the stairs, because they have those big caverns. He was like, I was just, because I was one of that in a very mini way. I was one of the producers on that. There's like a little producing group and I have a friend. So they just sort of, just to sort of help. Like I did that for Once on This Island too.
Wow.
Just to sort of help. And they also want to have like women to be like, women are, but it was like nominal, like the amount that I gave or whatever. But as a result, they were like, oh, come backstage for a second. So I saw Backstage.
That's so cool. I just think it's hilarious that he has his own show going on.
Yes, exactly.
He needs to watch yours. The power of Criminal Minds, man. But I feel like, I don't know if anything about this has been said on the record, but I feel like there'll probably be like movies or reunion shows. You guys will get together again.
We want it so bad. I mean, we all just keep talking about it. And you hear people talk about it, right? You like, oh, we genuinely want to get together. Like we genuinely put us to like, but I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens because maybe it's, I was going to say like, I don't know. Maybe there's a reason why that doesn't happen, but we all would have kept doing it. You know what I mean? But having said that, there's nothing to be sad about because nobody gets to do it that long. Like that's such a golden ticket times another golden ticket, you know, on top, wrapped around a golden ticket. So like, it's all good. But yeah, I think all of us would love that to happen. I mean, and right now when I do this thing in the morning, I have all these Garcia costumes that I'm never going to wear, and they're so cute, but they're not, I was her. And so I'm sort of like my own person, the way I dress. So I like, at least in my mind, I dress separately than her. But for this, now every morning I get up and I put on a Garcia costume. I might have 5 of them. I might have 6 of them, but I think only 4 fit. I'm not sure. So it's going to be an adventure next week because I wear one costume a week. So by next week, it's like, who knows what I'm going to wear. Because I will wear Garcia. If it fits or not, I'm wearing it. Doesn't matter.
But you can make outfits too. I feel like in the show, one of the shows that you wrote and starred in, your one-woman show Mess, didn't you, you had like a costume that I feel like maybe you designed or even made?
I don't design well, when I just did Mess and we took it to Edinburgh, my friend James, who I've known since high school, and he's just a genius. I was like, do you want to make me like a dress for this? And he actually it was the first time that I had actually had like a proper costume for it. And he made this dress that had like flowers and stuff on it, but there's this whole thing about monsters in the show. I kept forgetting to do it, but it was really cool. It was like a Velcro panel you couldn't even see. But there's one part in the show at the beginning, I could tear it off, and it was just all monster eyes. And it all kind of went with the other thing. It was really cool. So I used that for that. But then I've always had a knack, which I think girls who aren't traditional sizes, or who's like, you know, like, oh, well, my legs would fit into a 12, but my back fits into a 16, and my wrist is a size 0. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's there, you improvise how you wear clothes. So I've always been sort of good at that, of like, well, no, this doesn't zip up, but if you fold in the back, it's a V back, right?
Yeah, we have to get creative. Yeah. I get it.
Gotta do it.
By the way, I want to point out, when you talk about Blinking Owl Distillery and how you guys are going around, you know, delivering this hand sanitizer, you're not just using the royal we. I've seen photos of you geared up, driving around to places and actually physically handing this stuff out.
Yeah. I have, I know someone got in contact with someone that I know through our theater world, and they were like, I know this person is an ER nurse. And so, yeah, I mean, we have to do it. We have to, it's not anything that I think any one of us that has the means and the ability to do it. I keep wanting, like, the president to engage the Defense Production Act in the correct way, and to have the correct people parse that stuff out. And it's what I wrote Mess about. I think that the world is a reflection of our internal hologram. So I always have to find where I'm lacking, where I'm screwing up, before I point out what someone else is doing wrong. So for me, if my business isn't doing everything it can to support other people, then I have to look. Now I'm doing that. So now he really needs to engage the Defense Production Act in the way because he works for me. He doesn't know that, but now I'm just sort of like, I'm done with you. I'm just gonna do it myself. Because I feel like if we do that, you know, what starts happening, the more and more of us, which I totally have faith in, behave in the way we want, and we expect health, all that nonsense, all that reprehensible behavior, it can't stick. The only reason why it can stick is because of everybody else's own shame and self-hatred and blah, 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 and need to clash with each other. And if we're just busy, if we're just committed to what we can do next, whether it be for ourselves, for our own dreams, or what we can do next just to get out of bed or whatever, it's way more interesting.
It really is coming down to individuals more and more. And as, you know, scary as this time is, in a lot of ways, it's really inspiring to see what people are doing.
Yeah. I mean, it's terrifying. I can't even imagine what it'd be like to be sick right now, or to not be able to be with your family. You know, my scare was as big as my fingernail. My mom's cat bit her quite violently. He got trapped on a blind, and she went to go get him, and he bit bit her finger, and it's a finger where she should have removed that wedding ring when she divorced my dad, or maybe, I don't know when he died, but she was like, well, when I lose weight, it'll come off, but it's stuck on my finger. So the cat bit, and then the finger swelled up. And then I'm on the phone having a fight with my sister, because my sister's like, she's got to go to the ER. I'm like, she's not going. And my sister's like, it's not very busy yet. I'm like, it doesn't matter. You don't understand. So we're having a thing. And then finally I had to call the doctor, and prescribe the antibiotics, and have my friend drive and drop it off at my mom's house, because he lives close to my mom, and look at her finger for me, because I can't really tell from the camera. And then by the next day she had to go to the fire department and have it cut off. Yeah. Have the ring cut off, not her finger.
Oh God.
But honestly, if she would have been fine, I'd take the finger. And she probably.
I didn't know fire departments did that.
Yeah, I didn't know either. But I was telling my mom, my sister was like, maybe she can go to the fire department and have them cut it off. And my sister's like, they don't do that. I was like, they might. But she's not going to the ER, so she's either losing the finger, just it's gonna fall off because the damn ring. But she needed that ring off anyway, so I'm quite happy about it. And I saw her for a hot second, because I was able to drop off, groceries and wave at her from far away. But I mean, I can't imagine what it's like for people that are in, or that don't have food, or that don't know where their job is coming from, or that are scared about how to pay their rent. I mean, the degree of anxiety that everybody feels, and the shame that people feel about, oh, I don't have enough bad things going on. And like, it's which is, you told me to, we also make this.
Yes.
Trying not to drink these. I really have done good. This makes it look like I've been drinking this. This was already like this when all this started. This one,
and I can vouch for this product, by the way.
Was almost like this, but I let myself have a drink every night, because I think, don't you find this like, it's a slippery slope. Like, you have to take, it's right now. Like, it's not like, that should not be a solution to a problem.
So are you guys continuing to make spirits while you're also
we stopped production entirely. We had to, because the need's too great. I mean, we ran out. We have like the CHP buying from us, hospitals, public works, Tesla, like so many different places. And we just you can't, it's pointless right now. It's truly pointless. And also we have bottles already, but like, honestly, if we ran out of booze, just go get your booze somewhere else. I mean, right now, like, I don't think any of us give a fuck. We just want to help, and it feels very in alignment with. It just feels very in alignment. Robin, that's Robin's world already. So she understood very quickly, because and a lot of distilleries have pivoted to this. I know cosmetic companies that have pivoted to this right now, which is wonderful. I trust her. I know, like, I knew, like, immediately, like, she knew, like, this is what we have to do. This is how it's got to be. Like, it was all so quick and fast. And what's cool about ours is a lot of places can make this, but because we have this giant still, because we have Bastion Penelope Coco Frigalicious, which is our still, and if you look us up on Instagram, you will see her, and she is named after all of our rescue pets. And Bastion Penelope Coco Frigalicious is, my cat's name was Friggy, but they didn't like Bastion Penelope Coco Friggy. So Frigalicious was a nickname, because you make a cat's nickname longer sometimes. So we make gallons. We make 5 gallon. We make drums of sanitizer. So that's what's been so great about her. She can make these big, huge amounts of sanitizer.
That's amazing. And before we go, I'm curious, because, like, as I said, you're a writer, actor, style icon. What else is keeping you busy during this time? Maybe you don't have time, but are there shows you're binge watching or books?
Yeah, I do a lot of stuff. I mean, I've been pretty good about, I have a theater friend that is a very good actor, but also what he does for a living is he's a trainer. So he doesn't have work right now. So me and one of my other friends, my friend Wendy, so Wendy West and me get on Zoom with we get on FaceTime with my friend John, and he barks orders at us, and we jump around in our living rooms. So I've been doing that. I've been trying to be very, like, regular about that. And then I have these shows that make me giggle, because I told my I told my agents, I told my agents and my manager, I was like, just so you guys know, doing a show. This is my show. Like, just so everyone, because I think everyone goes like, oh man, if I had a fancy agent or manager, they'd pay attention to me. No, they're not going to. They're only gonna do it if it makes them money. But truly, if a lot of people pay attention and go, that's great. All kinds of people, they don't care at all. I don't even know. I'm like, you should watch it. It might make you happy, but no. So I've been doing my TV shows, which I've never been more dedicated to TV shows than I am doing my little weird, like, I want there to be a show where someone just reads stories. I really do. Just calm. Nothing really happens, but they're mildly spooky stories. Like, sign me up for that.
And where can people see those?
On my Instagram. There should be a more proper way. If I was a cool kid, I'd be like on Twitch, or I'd be like, I'd put up a YouTube channel. No, it's just on Instagram. I just put it because I started to do that. So I'm like, now when people, I don't want to screw it up. So I need to do a different format eventually. Maybe next week. I don't know. But maybe I'll put it on YouTube or something. I don't know. But right now it's just on Instagram TV. So if you go to my Instagram page and you just go to my Instagram, it's just a sea of them. It's just a literal sea. And then I've been watching The Good Place, Seinfeld, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and I have a system. Parks and Rec, The Office, Doctor Who. There's one I'm missing and I can't remember what it was. The Simpsons. And Rick and Morty. So there's another one too. And so I watch them on a loop. And some of them, like Seinfeld, you'd be like, oh, that I've never really seen it.
Really?
Like here and there. You know why? The craziest reason. Because I love it. It was the same reason why it took me forever to finish watching The Office. I didn't finish watching The Office until last year because I love it so much. I didn't want it to go away.
Yes.
So I kept it. And then I'm like, it's been a while. It's been a minute. So the same thing with The Good Place. Like, I loved it so much, I wouldn't watch it. I just got away from it. And I know my friend Steve Berg is on it, that I do Voyage to the Stars. I do this podcast with him. And my friend Mark Evan Jackson is on it. So all these friends are on it. And I've just not. So I watch them. I watch one. And when I go through all the 8, then I go back to the beginning and I go through all the 8 and then I go back. So that's what I've been doing.
I've been waiting years to finish the final season of Fringe because I don't want it to be over.
Yeah.
It's just sitting there and I gotta watch it at some point. I don't want to put any pressure on people because there's all this talk about how, like, when he was under quarantine, William Shakespeare wrote King Lear, and I'm just trying to get through, every day. But
I think it's a both and.
Yeah.
I think it's really a both and. I've found a lot of solace in, like, Brene Brown has been doing these little things, and she did this thing about I think it's overachievers and underachievers. I think that it was I think that that's the word she used. Maybe I'm wrong, but it was this idea being that, like, when you're anxious or when you're under tremendous stress, there's people that just can't get out of bed. And then there are people that just have to do stuff. I don't think that one is right. I don't think that one of those is right. Do I feel a little pious that I get up and do things? Yes. Is that correct? No. Is that my own ego? Just trying to be like, hey, yes. Because sometimes I need to underfunction. And I don't do it enough. So, yesterday I looked up a bunch of story arcs because I want to write. And I'm like, I think Neil Gaiman has, I think one of my favorite things to do when I get trapped in writing is I look at other writers' directions to write. I'm actually looking around because I had a slip of paper that had Arthur Miller's directions to write. And they're so good. One of them is, when you can't make art, you can work. And he's just got a bunch of really cool, because it's writers making up their own rules.
Yeah.
And one of Neil's is most, either half or most of writing is getting ready to write.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I've been getting ready to write for about 3 weeks now. And I had a show that I was planning on taking to Fringe this year, and Fringe is canceled. So now it's like,
Fringe.
yeah, Hollywood Fringe and the Edinburgh Fringe. Edinburgh Fringe.
Edinburgh Fringe just canceled. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, I mean, if anyone deserves a break, you took 2 shows that you wrote and starred into Edinburgh Fringe last year. So I think if you need to take a year off, it's fine.
But I don't like breaks. You said to put things that helped me through the quarantine. So this hippogriff.
Oh my gosh.
And this. And this book. Book helps me a lot. Do you know this book?
Oh wait, I do know that, but I haven't read it for years.
This is the latest Kate. You can find her on Instagram. And it's these words of affirmations that I just think they're the coolest things in the world. My favorite is, it's just little furry animals saying things to you. So you're like, Kirsten, what do you mean? I'm going to show you. Please be careful with yourself. On tough days, we need more self-care to stay healthy, says that little rat. My favorite one is, and you can find her on Instagram. She's she posts these. There's one that I have to look at a lot. Here it is. Stop calling yourself trash. You're a blueberry fairy princess. You're amazing. Come on.
Oh, what a cute little kitten.
Right? Sometimes we need to be reminded by a sparkly kitten that I'm a blueberry fairy princess and I'm not trash.
No, you are not.
But we all need that reminder. And it's got little
amazing.
sections for like when you're anxious, when you're depressed, when you're whatever. Big fan of that.
I'm gonna look that up right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. You know, it's imperfect, but I think that's all. Oh, this is the other thing I brought to share. This.
What is that?
It's chia pudding. I have decided that if you can get a hold of some chia seeds, I made a mason jar. I think you can make it with water. I made this with some possibly expired, some can in the back of my pantry that I was like, has it expired? I can't tell because the thing's rubbed off of coconut milk. It was very separate and it's a little yellowy, but it tastes perfectly fine. It's delicious. And
I don't hear that you had to go to the hospital because you gave yourself Pam poisoning.
I know, right? I've been eating this for 3 days. It was fine. But this is also getting me through the, I don't know why it's very comforting to me.
Yeah, no, I get
you
it.
Take 1/4 of a cup of chia seeds, I add some kind of liquid to it, and it makes a goo that can nourish you. And I got to tell you that I'm not eating this like, oh, that's for breakfast. Oh no, I'm eating regular meals. This is just my side food, my side habit food to make me feel safe. Because I feel like right now, sometimes we all need like I need a little safety food.
Well, you're being healthy. My side safety food is someone just dropped off Krispy Kremes.
Dude.
I'm trying not to.
There is no, to eat them. There is no, especially now. This is one of those times we all have to learn the lesson, or we don't have to, but there's no moral equivalent to food. You did not burn down an orphanage. You are allowed to eat whatever you want. I mean, I have to tell myself that so much right now because like there's my favorite restaurant is still, delivering and stuff like that. And it's very close to me and I love it so much. Austria La Buca. So I'll get like pasta from there and I'll be like, you shouldn't eat it again. I'm like, come on. I'm going to waste more energy and freak myself out more by being like, you really should. Why not? It's a whole thing.
Agreed. Just do it. What have you got to lose at this point? Mm-hmm. Well, again, I want to thank you so much for joining us and thank you for all you do. It's really, without sounding cheesy, it's really inspiring to see all the great things that people are doing.
Well, thanks for doing a little showlet.
Yeah. And
that's what I call them show.
And I was going to say that we could plug all your stuff, but you have so much stuff. We'll just list it in the comments. So everybody go to the description for all the various links to everything she's doing.
Yeah. You can just go to usually I talk about it on the social medias and whatnots.
Perfect. Follow her everywhere. Thank you so much.
Nice to see you, Janelle. Are those pajamas?
They are. They're kitten pajamas.
I love them.
Yeah.